It's Ben Falco, and this message I just like to talk about Star Wars in your Bible. And it's actually an old message, just wanted to bring to the surface again. It's in Daniel chapter 11, verse 38. I'll leave it in the comments below, but it talks about a man, one of the last warlords of the end time, raising up a god of forces, and honoring this god of forces with incredible wealth, with gold, silver, and jewels and all. And he's one of the last warlords that's mentioned in Daniel, and many Christians believe him to be the final Antichrist. Uh, and this God of forces is sort of similar to the philosophy behind the Star Wars movies. The Force just is without this father figure. It's one of the Luciferian arguments that whether Lucifer believes it or not, what the argument is that there is no God. All these things are of natural occurrences. How gravity holds planets in place, the death of how stars and universal, all these things, breaking down of material, the rebuilding of material, and these are also he was also sort of discussing laws within this universe, and so they're also it's all so it's also sort of an argument to manipulate lower intelligence. As the argument is also just designed to manipulate lower intelligence, and this is the Luciferian argument, and you can sort of see the philosophy in the movie, in the Star Wars movies, and he's getting to make his point through these movies. Walt Disney purchased Lucasfilm mainly because of Star Wars for over $4 billion. It was something like $2 billion in cash, $2 billion in stocks, and some other stuff. But you can look that up yourself. And so you can sort of see the foundations of the philosophies of Luciferian philosophies within the Star Wars movies. If you don't know already, a lot of many of the Hollywood actors and within the music industry, and even in some of probably many of our politicians that'll start coming out too, that there's soul contracts. There are people that is a literal thing, and you can dig deep in the internet and find it. And that's why there are hidden messages, the hidden Luciferian messages, hidden Illuminati messages that are within so much of the music and the Hollywood movies, and also and probably a lot of our politicians as well. I haven't found any of that on the internet, but I'm just starting just to sort of see it within our leadership, and so the philosophies of Luciferianism is sort of within the Star Wars movies, and you could hear when Yoda talks about the Force, when Yoda explaining the Force to Luke's to Luke Skywalker in the first series of movies, you can see that it's just a thing without this father figure, with that and Jesus Christ lived a life in faith to a God that had dominance over all things. That in Solomon's prayer, nothing contains God. That we are children of God, made in His image. We are gods. I like how Guardians of the Galaxy guy said it. We're little G's. We're growing into that. So I just wanted to bring this video back to the surface, where one of the end times warlords, that is one of the last warlords mentioned in the book of Daniel, chapter 11, and it talks about, for several verses, all listed in the comments below, the actual verses. But it's very similar to the way the Sith operate, just as because this last warlord gains a lot of power just through manipulation. So it uses the word flatteries, but there's a similarity there with between manipulations, because sometimes when somebody's flattering you, it's because they're softening you up. So, which is similar to the way the Sith gained a lot of power within the Star Wars movies. You can see the main head honcho, the main head honcho Sith Lord was able to accomplish a lot of things just with that silver tongue. So there's a very similarity there also within how the Sith operate. Also, the way the Sith are required to kill their parents. You can see that with Ben was required to kill his parents. Just as Lucifer, Satan, and Caligula, according to the Urantia, they all conspired. They all had threw their lot in a bit of the conspiring against Christ and the death of Christ. So there's a lot of parallels when you're watching the movies, to where you can see Luciferianism, being point, and also the foundations are being laid. That's $4 billion, and also it's going to make more than that. I think throughout the history of Star Wars, who knows how much it's made since the early 80s or late 70s, from when it originally came out. I believe early 80s. So it's made millions, it's made billions, and so this God of forces that is mentioned in Daniel, the foundations and the philosophies are kind of already laid out through the movies. And I just wanted to make a little video about it, and I will post the scriptures below. God bless you.